Satyam Param Dhimai. Om Satyam Param Dhimai. Om Satyam Param Dhimai. Om Satyam Param Dhimai. Om Satyam Param Dhimai.
Suggested that I speak on Ram, but the girl who suggested she's not Ram. Well, it's not my subject actually. I am not really studying the Ramayan. My study is mainly of the Mahabharata. So, but I'll try a little. So life is a play, and when the divine consciousness wants to play, it takes a form. So something which is unseen, which we call unseen as nirgun, nirakar, devoid of form. When it takes on a form, we call it a sagun saka. That is, with the guns, with the form. Now, these are two very deep subjects. What is guna? What are the qualities? And what is form? Where does form come from? Where do the qualities come from? I won't go into that. Now, so the avatar which is taken is called Ram. Ramayate iti Rama. When God comes to play. When He comes to play. A study was done of which group of professionals earns the most money. Which group of professionals earns the most money? Who earns the most money? Lawyers, doctors, who earn the most money? Huh?
Accountants.
Huh?
Accountants.
Accountants. Even I thought accountants, the ones who play the stock market should be earning the most money. But it's not, it wasn't true. It was found that as a group, sportsmen earn the most money. And it was very good because they don't go to work, they go to play. They go to work. So if you want to earn money, you have to go to play. You have to make your work into play. Turn your work into play. That is why in Shastra they used to call it Leela. They didn't call it, as life. They said that it's a Leela, it's a play, cosmic drama. And in that cosmic drama, when you play, you become Rama. Ramayate iti Rama. But to play, you have to be a good player. A good player. So to play 1 hour in the match, a good player practices many hours. To play that 1 hour in the match, a good player practices many hours. This practice is called as abhyas. Practice. Right? So in life, when that divine consciousness takes a form, and the aim of the form is to play. Now, if we go a little into karma, there is, usually they say there are three types of karma. We won't go into that today. But there is one line of karma which brings freedom. Which brings freedom. That is called as destiny. Near destiny. What is my destiny? So, supposing I want freedom. Freedom is moksha. I want moksha. Freedom. Then I have to walk on a certain path. That path is called Ayan. What is it called? Ayan, the pathway. The pathway in which the sun moves. Dakshinayan, Uttarayan. The pathways of the sun. Similarly, which pathway brings freedom? Which pathway brings freedom? Which Ayan brings freedom? So the pathway of playing. The pathway of playing brings freedom. That is called as Ramayan. The pathway of playing. Right? So that brings freedom. And the one who walks on that path is called as Rama. If you and I walk on the path, we are also called as Rama. It is not some mythological character. It is something now. Of somebody who lived or so many thousands of years ago. Now he is the son of a king called Dashrath. Dashrath. What is the meaning of the word Dashrath? Dashrath. Dash means 10. Rath means chariots. 10 chariots. He is the son of the 10 chariots. Which are the 10 chariots? Which are the 10 chariots? Which are the 10 chariots? The 10 chariots. Which are the 10? The 5 sense organs and the 5 organs of action. Thus, पांच ज्ञानेंद्रिय, 5 कर्म इंद्रिय. Which are the 5 sense organs? Which are the 5 sense organs? The eyes, the nose, the tongue, the ears, the skin. Right? The 5 sense organs. And the 5 organs of action. Right? The 2 hands. Right? The 2 feet and the tongue. 5 organs of action. So these are the 10 organs and these are the 10 chariots. Chariots which Rath. That which is needed to play, or the instrument is needed to play. Right? When you go to play cricket, you need a bat, you need pads. To play in this game of life, which instrument do we need to play in the game of life? Which instrument? We call it a body-brain system. A body-brain system. To play in this game of life, to play it, we need a Rath. And those are 10 Raths which we need. That is why Ram, he comes to play, but he is the son of Dashrath. The 10 chariots. He is the son of the 10 chariots. Now the space where he comes to play is called as Ayodhya. Not that Ayodhya which everyone is fighting for. Not that Ayodhya. Right? Ayodhya. Now what is the meaning of Ayodhya? Ayodhya. Jya Yudh Nathi. Jya Yudh Nathi. Nenu Yudh chalega. Jya Yudh Nathi. Yudh chalega. Right? Where there is no fighting, there is no violence, there is no. Yeah, so he comes in this space. All of us have this space in our minds, in our psychological country. In our psychological country, we have a space called Ayodhya. So, if Ram is in our hearts, then we live in a space called Ayodhya. But if Ram is not in our hearts, if he is living in some place called Ayodhya, then right? So he lives in this space called Ayodhya where there is no battles, no hate, no envy, no aggressiveness. And that is why it is called as Ayudha. Last year we had taken one story. Which other king's name is very close to this? Last year we had taken one story. Which other king is, his name is very close to this word Ayodhya? Which story have we taken last year? The story of Shakuntala and Dushyant. Dushyant. Dushtata no ant. Where there is the end of animalism, the end of violence. Dushtata no ant. And he marries God. Whom does he marry? Shakuntala. Shakuntala. What does Shakuntala mean? Shakuntala is a bird. Shakuntala is a bird. When a bird flies in the sky does it leave footprints? No, but when man walks, he leaves his mark. A bird dissolves its ego every moment, nothing is left. It flies, nothing is left. We keep on leaving our mark. The ego is left behind. Right? And then we build a temple to the ego. And then we worship in that temple. Now this Dashrath has 3 queens. He has 3 queens. The first is called Kaushalya. Kaushalya means Kushalta, cleverness. Cleverness. Cleverness is a function of which center? Thinking, emotion, moving which center? Cleverness. Thinking. It is a function of thinking. Man is a 3-brain being. Our body-brain system is a 3-storied building. 3-storied building. The top floor of the building is the thinking. The middle floor is the feeling. And the lower floor is the sensing. Sensing, feeling, knowing. Sensing, feeling, knowing. These are the 3 stories in our building. Do we know all the floors of our building properly? Your sister did not come. This is in answer to her question. Answer to her question. Right. Do we know all the floors in our building properly? Do we know the knowing floor? Do we know the feeling floor? Do we know the sensing floor? We don't know. We don't study them. How do we study them? Through books, or do we study them by studying ourselves? Ourselves. It is self-study. It's called as Swadhyay. Self-study. Study of the self. Right? So we have to learn what is there in these 3 floors of us. Now for us, what is knowing? What is knowing? What is knowing? What is knowing? For us, knowing is thinking. Knowing is thinking. We think to know. Can there be knowing without thinking? Can there be a form of knowing without thinking? There must be a direct perception without the medium of thought. Without the medium of thought. So our thinking center, the top floor of the building, will have 2 floors. One of higher thinking where thought does not come in. There is a direct knowing. It can be called as intuition, insight. Right? There is a direct knowing. And then there is a knowing through thought. All our education is through thought. All our education is through. But Sumitra does not mean, Kaushalya does not mean the knowing through thought, Kushalta. It is an inner, sense. It is an extra sense. She just knows. There is no need of thinking about it. She knows without thinking. So it is a higher form of thinking. So Dashrath has 3 queens. The first queen is a higher form of thinking. Higher form of thinking. The second queen, her name is Sumitra. Mitra means friend. Su means good, fortunate. A good friend, a fortunate friend. Sumitra. The second queen's name is Sumitra, fortunate friend. Right? So friendship is of the heart center. Of the heart center. But again, feeling will be of two kinds. Feeling will be of two kinds. One is I feel something, and one is I feel the other. I can feel the other. So one of the practices we used to do was we had to go out in the fields and we had to sit and observe the corn field. You know the corn field? Wheat field? The wheat plant is growing, and we kept on observing the wheat plant. And the whole idea was that slowly, if the wind is blowing and it is blowing on the wheat plant like this, we have to feel that wind as if it's blowing on us, and we have to sense what the wheat plant is sensing, what it is feeling, what is happening. The juices, the water is moving up in the plant. What is the feeling of the water? So slowly we meditate upon the plant, and at one point we become the plant. To feel what the other is feeling. Feel what the other is feeling. Sumitra. The meaning of the word Mitra is two presences, not one. I feel not only myself, but I feel somebody else at the same time. That is called as friendship. Sumitra. So the second queen was Sumitra, the higher part of the feeling center, the higher part of the emotional center. Her name was Sumitra. The third queen, what was the third queen's name? What was the third queen's name? What was the third queen's name? KK, they don't know. The third queen's name was KK, the one who can count. The one who can count. Right? Who can count. If you've eaten 3 chapatis at my house, I'm going to eat 4 at your house. The one who can count. The one whose mind is in conflict all the time. The one who is in, but the mind is in conflict. The body is very, she is young and beautiful. She is young and beautiful. So the king Dashrath, the other two queens are higher, but he falls in love. Whom is he in love with? Kaikeyi. Because we fall in love with beauty of the body, not beauty of the mind or beauty of the heart. We fall in love with beauty of the body. We are hypnotized by beauty of the body. So this king Dashrath, he was identified with life. The 5 sense organs and the 5 organs of action, they are identified in life, they are hypnotized in life. He is in love with the lower queen, and she stands for everything which is lower thinking center, lower emotional center, and the 3 lower centers, instinct, moving, sex. She stands for everything. The third story of the building, Kaikeyi. Right? And when we are very cunning inside, what are we doing all the time? What are we doing when we are very cunning? What are we doing? What are we doing when we are very cunning? We are scheming. What are we doing? Scheming all the time. How to take that 10 rupees from your pocket. Scheming all the time. Right? So, what is this scheming? What are we doing? What are we doing? This scheming. What are we doing? What is this scheming? What will we call it? Manthan. There was that day we talked about which city? We talked about Mathura. The original name of Mathura was Madhura. But Kans, with his scheming plans and everything, of killing his enemies and everything, he turned Madhura into Mathura. He did Manthan. What is the meaning of the word Manthan? To churn. churn. We churn the curds into buttermilk, right? So Kaikai had an advisor, and what was her name? Manthara. So this Kaikai is always scheming, and the one, she has this advisor called Manthara, and we are also always scheming, always planning on what to do tomorrow, what to do day after tomorrow. We are always planning something, right? So the third queen is Kaikai, conflict. She uses the deviousness of the lower mind and does manthan. That is why her friend's name is Manthara. And everything is for personal gain. It is not for welfare or for benefit. It is all for self-love. For love of myself. Everything I do is for love of myself. Self-love. That is why her name is Manthara. So the 10 sense organs, they get hypnotized into having a beautiful life, living life beautifully. And so Dasrath is identified with life, he is hypnotized by life, and this is symbolic in Kaikai, the young and beautiful Kaikai. So, when he is identified with this, then is there consciousness? When I am identified, is there consciousness? If I am hypnotized by life, is there consciousness? No. So the minute he is identified, consciousness, where does consciousness have to go? It has to go into the jungle. It goes away. There is no consciousness now left in Ayodhya. It goes into the jungle. It goes away. Consciousness. So Ram has to go into, where does he go? Into Vanvas. He has to go into Vanvas. Because there is identification, and when there is identification, there is no presence, there is no consciousness. When a child is born, is he conscious? When a child is born, is he conscious? He is conscious. But in an innocent way, he is conscious, right? And then a time comes when the ego comes in, and the ego sends the soul into Vanvas. And how does the ego come in? Because with the five sense organs and the 5 organs of action, we get hypnotized by life. We get hypnotized by life. What is the cause of, what leads us to hypnosis? What leads us to identification with life? What is the one thing? What is the one thing? Excitement. Excitement. So the child is looking for new, slowly it forms a pattern inside that I want new things, I want excitement. And in that search for excitement, the ego is formed and the soul goes into Vanvas. This is the story of Ayodhya. It is everyone's story. It is not the story of the Ramayan. It is everyone's story. Every soul has to go into Vanvas, and then only few people make it back to Ayodhya. The rest, everyone dies in Vanvas. They don't make that effort to come back to Ayodhya. Nobody makes that effort. Everybody dies in Vanvas. When is the stamp of excitement put? Where is the stamp of excitement? And in the Mahabharata, where here Ram goes into Vanvas, in Mahabharata, where is the stamp of excitement put? The child grows. When is he very well grounded in excitement? Now he cannot come back. Now he cannot come back. At what age is he grounded in excitement? When the sex energy starts unfolding, and the sex energy is so powerful that now he becomes a slave of excitement. He is only searching for excitement. It is now, this is nature's way of working. Nature gives the sex energy, and now he is looking for excitement. He will never come back to find his way to Ayodhya again. So consciousness is lost in the forest, and life in Ayodhya continues in a state of sleep, of identification, in a state of chaos. Why is it in a state of chaos? Because after consciousness goes in the forest, who dies? The king, Dashrath, dies. So this total chaos, undisciplined. That's Ayodhya. Now, before Ram goes into the forest, whom does he marry? Sita. The meaning of the word is masti, joy, happiness. So if we play the game properly, what is the result of the game? What do we get? Happiness, joy. If our attention is not on winning or losing, but in enjoying the game, just the very playing of the game gives us joy. We are married to Sita. By playing the game, if we become Rama, Ramayate iti Rama, then we get married to Sita. We get married to the joy of life. If every moment of life is a play, is a Leela, then every moment we are married to Sita. So Sita means joy, happiness. Now she is the daughter of Prithvi, the Dharti, of the material part of life. Material is the lower part of life. She is the daughter of the material part of life, Dharti, Prithvi. Who else in the Mahabharata? Sorry, but we forgot. When was the stamp of excitement in the Mahabharata? The stamp of excitement in the Mahabharata. I forgot. You didn't remind me. All of you are daydreaming. You didn't remind me. In which? In the game of dice. In the game of dice. In the game of dice. Yudhishthir is so excited and so hypnotized that he loses everything, and then to get it back you have to go through a period of 12 years of one fast and one. This is the period of sadhana. At 16 years the soul has lost everything in excitement. The game of dice is over at 16 years. The stamp of excitement. Right? And then if he wants his kingdom back, he has to go through a long period of vanvas, abhyas, suffering to get it back. And that suffering is the story in Ramayan. How you get your own kingdom back. How we get our own kingdom back. So Ram marries Sita, and Sita is bliss, masti. She is the daughter of Prithvi, but she is also the daughter of Janak. What is Janak called? What is he called? Videha. He is called as Videha. The one who is free from the body. The body is made of Dharti, Prithvi. But she is also the daughter of one who is free from the body. So she is the meeting of two opposites, the higher and the lower, the sky and the earth. She is the meeting of two. And out of the marriage of the sky and the earth is born Sita. Who was in the Mahabharata? Who was born from a yagna? Who was born from a yagna? Draupadi. She was born from a yagna. Draupadi was born from a yagna. Sita is born from Dharti and Videha. The force of gravity is in Dharti, in Prithvi. The force of gravity. It pulls us down all the time. We want to fly high in the sky, but it pulls us down. And it pulls us down through the force of negativity. And we want freedom from Dharti to reach into the sky. Right? The Mahabharata, who is the daughter of Prithvi? What is her name? Pritha. Kunti. She is the mother of the Pandavas. She is the mother of the Pandavas. Kunti. So, he goes into the forest, not alone, but he goes with his wife, Sita. Right? Now, how does he win the hand of Sita? How does he win the hand? How does he win the hand? What is it called? What is it called? Swayam Var. Swayam Var. What is the meaning of the word Swayam Var? What is the meaning of the word Swayam? The right to choose, self-choose. The choice of self. Swayam Varvu. Varvu means to choose, from the root word vru, to choose. Swayam Varvu. Tat savitur varenyam. Tat savitur varenyam. Right? That Atma, it has an agent. That agent is called Savita. Is Savita no Varuj. He has an agent. He has a Shakti. He has Varuj. I choose. I choose. So he won the hand of Sita in a Swayamvar. And how did he win the hand? What did he do in the Swayamvar? What did he do? What did he do? What did he do? In the Swayamvar, what did he do? He broke the Dhanush of Shiva. Broke the Dhanush of Shiva. Osho used to tell a very nice story of the Shiva Dhanush. Saying, एक स्कूल में एक इंस्पेक्टर आया और इंस्पेक्टर आया और पूछा कि अभी क्लास का एग्जाम लेंगे तो शिव का धनुष किसने तोड़ा? So everybody was quiet. Nobody had read the Ramayan, so nobody knew the Ramayan. One boy got up. He says, मैं पहले से कह देता हूं जिसने भी तोड़ा है मैंने नहीं तोड़ा है। इस स्कूल में जब भी कुछ टूटता है मेरा नाम ही आता है, पहले से बोल देता हूं। This is what has happened. This is the story of what has happened in today's youth. They don't know who broke Shiv's Dhanush. Who broke Shiv's Dhanush. Who else tried to break Shiv's Dhanush? Who was in love with Sita? Who was in love with Sita? Ravan. Ravan. And Ravan was a Shiv Bhakt. He was a Shiv Bhakt. But he could not break the Dhanush, and Ram broke the Dhanush and he married Sita. What is the symbolic meaning of Dhanush? The symbolic meaning of Dhanush. Attention. What comes out of a Dhanush? Arrow. So Ram's attention was one-pointed and Ravan's attention was fragmented. Is our attention one-pointed or fragmented? Fragmented. Our attention is fragmented. We cannot break Shiv ka Dhanush. We cannot break Shiv. Right? So we go to try it. We want masti in life. We want joy in life. We want happiness in life. For that you have to break Shiv ka Dhanush. But we cannot break Shiv ka Dhanush. So we all are Ravan. We are not Ravan. Right? What is the meaning of the word Ravan? What is the meaning of the word Ravan? Hrudayate iti Ravan. What does it mean? Hrudayate means Rudar. What does it mean? We had that beautiful movie, Rudali. Beautiful movie, in Kapadia, Rudali. What does it mean? What does it mean? જે રડે અને રડાવે રાવણ, જે રમે અને રમાડે રામ. આપણે શેમાં છીએ? રડે અને રડાવેમાં છે કે રમે અને રમાડેમાં છે? આપણે કેમાં છીએ? આપણે કેમાં છીએ? જે રડે અને રડાવે. We are crying all the time. And it's an infectious disease. Somebody is crying, we also start. Infectious disease. Rama. Rade, Radave. Rama. He cannot break Shiv ka dhanush. Je rade, એને મસ્તી ન મળે, એને વરે નહીં મસ્તી. એને મસ્તી cannot choose the one who is crying. How can masti choose the one who is crying? It's not possible. So he cannot break Shiv ka dhanush. Shiv is the Kalyankari. The dhanush, attention, if excuse me, if the attention is one-pointed, there is joy in our life, prosperity in our life. If our attention is fragmented, what is the symptom that our attention is fragmented? What is the symptom? એનો લક્ષણ શું? કે મારું ધ્યાન વિખરાયેલું છે, એનો લક્ષણ શું? What is the symptom? બોલો બોલો. લે ધ્યાન એકાગ્ર લાગે છે બધા. મારું ધ્યાન વિખરાયેલું છે. What is the symptom? What is that my attention is fragmented? Wherever my attention is stuck, ત્યાં મારો જીવ બળે. ત્યાં મારો જીવ બળે. If my attention is stuck in this and you take it away, તો જીવ મારો બળે. So a person જો હજી જીવ બળતો હોય કોઈ પણ જગ્યાએ, તો attention is fragmented. Then Shiv ka dhanush, we cannot break Shiv ka dhanush. But if attention is one-pointed, if it is controlled, like Ram's was, then jeev bade nahi. So he goes into the forest with his wife Sita, Masti, right? And whom else does he go into the forest? Lakshman. What is the word Lakshman? What is the word Lakshman? Lakshya. Our aim in life. What is our aim in life? So the soul has only one aim. It wants mukti. It wants mukti. And for that mukti it plays. In that playing it gets joy, and in that joy it reaches its aim called Lakshman Masti. So the three of them, Ayodhya is empty. They leave Ayodhya and they go into the forest. Now this Ravan, he is the king of which place? Lanka. And Lanka is made of gold. So all his attention, his whole life's attention, he was a bhakt of Shiva, but all his attention went in what? Accumulating gold. That is what our life goes a waste. All these spending, what do we do? Spend our life in accumulating gold. All of us are Ravan. We spend our life gathering gold. We want to make that Sona ki Lanka. So all his attention went waste, all his Shakti, even though he was a Shiv, went in accumulating wealth, ambition, fulfilling his ambition, right? Now he is in love with Sita, so what does he do? What does he do? What does he do? Rakshas naam? Marich. Ray of light. Marich and ray of light. Light એટલે materiality. Okay, so this Ravan goes to which Rakshas? Marich, and he tells him that you take the form of a Deer, not a deer, not just a deer. Golden deer. Golden deer. And who gets hypnotized by the gold? Sita. The masti is gone. Now I want the golden deer. I want the golden deer. And what does she do to get that golden deer? She goes over the Lakshman Rekha. So within this Rekha, if our consciousness remains in this Rekha, our attention is always on a aim. But it goes above this Rekha, it goes identified into the sleep of life, into the hypnosis of life. The masti went away, it got identified, it went over the Lakshman Rekha and got identified into the sleep of life. Now it wanted gold. It wanted gold. It lost the consciousness. Now ambition came. The want for gold came. And she told Ram, you go behind that deer and get me that deer. Go behind that deer and get me the deer. So Ram goes, then Lakshman goes, and she goes over the Lakshman Rekha, and she's kidnapped by Ravana. And the word used is Apharan. In the Mahabharata, there is the story of Rukmani Haran. Rukmani Haran. Sita no Apharan thyu ne, Rukmani no Haran thyu. What is the difference? What is the difference? Sita no Apharan thyu ne, Rukmani no Haran thyu. What is the difference? Difficult to put everything into English. Huh? What is the difference? What is it? Rukmani loved Krishna. એટલે she હરણ થયું એની મરજીથી થયું ને સીતાની મરજી વિરોધ અપહરણ થયું. એટલે રૂકમણી હરણ કહેવાય ને સીતાનું અપહરણ કહેવાય. Both are different. Both are different. Who wrote the first love letter in the world? Who wrote the first love letter? The first love letter, who wrote it? Who wrote the first love letter in the world? You. Who wrote the first love? Whom did you write it to? Who wrote the first love letter in the world? Rukmini wrote it to Krishna. Rukmini wrote it to Krishna. What did she say in the letter? What did she say in the letter? She said, my father is going to get me married to Shishupal. Right? Her brother was a very, very powerful prince, Rukmini's brother. And Rukmini's father was the king of a place called Vidarbha. King of Vidarbha. And her brother was a very powerful prince. Nobody had ever defeated her brother in battle. He was so powerful. And she wrote a letter that my brother is forcibly giving my hand, even though he is getting the Swayamvar, he is giving my hand to Shishupal. I don't want to marry Shishupal. I have fallen in love with you. You come and kidnap me. You take me away, Rukmani. So on the day of the Swayamvar, what does she do? She says, I am going to the Kul Devi for worship. I am going to the temple of the Kul Devi for worship. And she goes in the morning and Krishna comes there and takes her away. And where do they get married? Where do they get married? And in which day did they get married? Which day did they get married? Which day did they get married? Where did they get married? Which day did they get married? He got married in a place called Madhopur. They got married in a place called Madhopur. And they got married on which day? Which day? Which day? Day after tomorrow. They got married day after tomorrow. Chaitra Sud 11. From today in Madhopur there is a huge mela. Everybody comes there to celebrate the wedding of Krishna and Rukmani, which will be celebrated day after tomorrow, when the Jan goes and they carry Thakurji in the Jan, they sing and they dance, and then from Rukmani side there is her pier, there is a temple there, and then they have Thakurji Nalagan Kare. It's a big thing every year. Chaitra Gyas. So Krishna took her, and the brother came, and then Balram battled with the brother and defeated the brother, and he did not go back to Vidarbha. He stayed in between. He stayed in between, and that this kingdom which was created was called Avanti. Right? So Ram, Sita and Lakshman, they go into the forest. And Sita is taken away by Ravan. Now Ravan, he takes away Sita, but can he hold on to Sita? What does he have to do? What does he have to do? He cannot take her to his palace. He cannot take her to his palace. What does he do? What does he do? Where does he keep her? Ashok Vatika. In the Ashok Vatika. What is the meaning of the word Ashok? No shok, no crying, no lamentation. There is no crying. All these serials they show Sita crying in the Ashok Vatika. It's all nonsense. She wasn't crying over there. She was kept where there was no crying. Because masti and crying cannot go together. So the Ravan, the one who is crying, kidnapped her, but he could not hold on to her, he could not take her into his palace, he had to leave her in the Ashok Vatika, the space where there is no crying, no lamentation, no grief, no shok. Ashok Vatika. And she is there in Ashok Vatika. Right? And she has her own magnetism. She is not crying or anything. In a separation from Ram. This is the Leela, the Ram Leela. But of course, all the serials show Sita is crying and doing all kinds of things that we do all the time. So, the aim of life was forgotten. Even in a child, when the ego is born, the soul comes with the aim of life as freedom. The aim of life is forgotten. The ego sends the soul into vanvas. There is loss of consciousness. When we lose our consciousness, with that we lose Sita, we lose Masti. So Sita was taken away by Ravana. Our Nishtha has gone. The reason why we are living, we have forgotten. And now what happens? What happens to our Masti now? What happens to our Masti? Once Sita is taken away, at around 5 years old, when the child is around 4 or 5 years old, the Masti is taken away. Then what does Masti become? What makes us happy? What makes us happy? What makes us gives us joy? What gives us bliss? It is not from within. It is always dependent on something else. If I pass the exam, there is happiness. If I fail the exam, Right? If this team wins the cricket match, there is happiness. If this team doesn't win the cricket match, so our happiness now with Sita, her happiness is always dependent upon something else. Is this freedom or slavery? Slavery. Our whole lives, our happiness is dependent upon something happening. A new car, a new phone, a new this. Right? Happiness is always dependent upon. So from the joy of freedom, the child now moves into the slavery of excitement. So Ravan's Lanka was made of gold. He had Shakti, but he misused all his energy to accumulate gold. Before attacking Lanka, Ram did Shiv Puja at Rameshwar. Even though Ravan was a Shiv Bhakt, he did Shiv Puja at Rameshwar. Now what is Ravan's wife's name? Mandodri. Mandodri. What is the meaning of the word Mandodri? Mand means slow, Udar means cavity. And the literal meaning will be slow digestion. Slow digestion, Mandodri. Right? Means cavity. Cavity is filled with sky. The sky is higher, but Mandodri is slow sky, means a lower sky. A sky where mosquitoes and flies are roaming around. The lower pranas, the lower things in life. She represents the lower part of life, the lower things in life. Even though she is living in the Lanka which is made of gold. Now, whose help does Ram have to take to win Sita back? Hanuman. Now, the child has lost his basti. He has lost his basti. The inner soul has gone into Vanvas. Now, how does the soul get Sita back and come back to Ayodhya? So, first it has to seek help. It has to seek help. And whose help does it take? Hanuman. What is the meaning of the word Hanuman? Meaning of the word Han means to kill. Man means mind. The killing mind. The killing mind. What to kill? You and me. What do we kill? What is he killing? What is he killing? See, there has been a slip in consciousness from that high pedestal of Sita. There was a slip because she got hypnotized by the Mrug, the golden Mrug. She got hypnotized by the golden Mrug. Suddenly from that Masti, there was the hypnosis of gold. The hypnosis of gold. And she loses it. And everything falls into the lower psychic nature. Now that lower psychic nature has to be killed. We have to get rid of the lower psychic nature. The emotional center, the negative part of the emotional center has to be killed, purified. Right? And for that we need a very special Shakti, Hanuman. That Shakti is called as Hanuman. The mind which kills. The mind which kills the lower. The mind which kills the lower. Now, whose son is he? Whose son is he? He is Vayu Putra. What is Vayu? Vayu is the breath. And the breath contains the 5 pranas and the 5 Vayus. The 5 pranas and the 5 Vayus. So what is the first thing we want to do if we want to get Sita back? What do we have to do? What do we have to do? Bring rhythm in the breath. Do 3-step rhythmic breathing. Bring rhythm in the breath. First the Vayu. There must be some Hanuman inside. In other words, Hanuman is sitting inside. All of us want our Ayodhya back, but without Hanuman we can't get our Ayodhya back. So we have to create that Hanuman. And whose other help does he take? What other forces help him? Not only Hanuman, but also the Vanar Sena. The Vanar Sena. The whole monkey Sena. What does the monkey Sena represent? The mind. The mind is fragmented into so many monkeys are sitting inside of us. One wants this, one wants that. One wants to study, but the other doesn't want to study. It wants to go out for a movie. Another wants to sit at home and be lazy. Right? So many monkeys inside. No? One wants to eat ice cream. Right? So many monkeys inside. Right? And one wants to give the husband a bath also. So many monkeys. So all those monkeys have to be, their Shakti has to be put into one aim, and that is the recapture, the retaking of Masti. So how do they do that? How do these monkeys do that? The Vanar Sena, how do they do it? What do they do? They build a bridge. Between the inner consciousness, the inner Masti, the bridge has broken. We don't know how to go back over it. Somebody has to build that bridge, and that bridge can only be built by bringing all the different forces, the lower forces, together. They have to be all given one aim of building this bridge is called as Setu. The Setu they did. And they are controlled by the 5 Vayus and the 5 Pranas. Which are the 5 Pranas? Pran, Apan, Saman, Vyan and Udan. These are the 5 Pranas and the 5 Vayus. What do? They have different functions, but today they are total out of control. They are chaotic. They are totally chaotic because of all our lower emotions and negative emotions. So when we bring in Hanuman, he slowly kills all the negative emotions. All the pranas come together and they build the Setu that goes to Lanka. And the whole Sena with Ram, they cross over the bridge and they go to Lanka. Right? How many heads does Ravan have? 10 heads. What does it mean? What are the 10 heads? 10 heads. If I am hungry, I can feel only one hunger. But just imagine if I had 10 heads, one eating ice cream, one eating popcorn. It's so much fun. So much fun. Right? It's such a pity we don't have 10 heads. Or do we have 10 heads? Or do we have 10 heads? One hunger goes, another hunger comes. One desire goes, another desire comes. No man has ever fulfilled his desires. Everybody is running in life to fulfill the desire. It's like catching the sun. The sun is setting. You go to catch the sun, but every time you go to catch it, it goes far away. You can't catch the sun. So you cut off one head, another one comes in its place. And what does the head do? What does the head do? It thinks, it schemes, it makes all devious schemes. He's always thinking and making devious schemes. He's 10 heads daydreaming, just imagine. 10 heads daydreaming. One head daydreaming, we can't control it. 10 heads daydreaming. So 10 different ambitions. So 10 heads signifies so many things. The ambitions in life, the desires in life, the misuse of the thinking center, the misuse of the 10 organs of the senses and the action, the misuse of hunger, misuse of the lower centers. Everything is misused in those 10 heads and they cannot be cut off. And Ram keeps on cutting off one head and another one comes in its place. And then what does he do? He sends an arrow in the navel. Where is the power coming from? Cut off the source of energy to the 10 heads. The source of energy is in the navel, life. And Ravan falls down dead. This is the source of all our self-thinking, everything. All the animal intensities are lying here, and it is these intensities which our ego uses. If those intensities, the one who has conquered these intensities, the animal, what do we call it? The one who has conquered these animal intensities, what do we call it? The animal intensities are called as Gana, and the one who has conquered Gana is Ganpati. Ganpati, the one who has conquered the Ganas, the Pati of the Ganas. So he cuts off he tries to cut off the heads, but then he has to shoot the arrow in the navel. Right? What is Ravan's son's name? What is his son's name? Indrajit. Indrajit means the one who has mastered the 5 senses, who has victory over the energy of sensitivity. He is a very, very powerful warrior, very, very powerful warrior. All the great kings, right, all the great warriors, they all first mastered their 5 senses. So he was able to master the 5 senses. And what were his brothers' names? What were his brothers' names? One was Vibhishan and the other was Kumbhakarna. Kumbhakarna was married to sleeping. He was married to sleeping, the mechanical side of life, the lower side of life. The unconscious part of life, our unconscious mind. The one who is married to the unconscious mind, Kumbhakarna, who does not want to wake up from the unconscious. Bhi means fear. Vibhi means Vishesh fear. Vishesh fear. Now, when we are around 4 or 5 years old, when we are born, all the experiences of life go to the soul. Around 4 to 5 years, the ego takes away the kingdom from the soul and sends the soul into the forest, and the ego becomes the king and takes all the experiences of life. And this ego frightens the soul. That is why we call it as Bhishma, the one who is frightened. The one who has transformed this fear inside, the fear of the ego, the one who is not frightened of the ego is called as Vibhishan. The one who has transformed this fear. Right? And he is on whose side? Ram's side. Right? So he comes to meet Ram and he helps him into killing Ravana. So that is the end of the inner crying. All the inner suffering is over with the killing of Ravana. And once the inner suffering is over, the lower psychic nature is conquered, the mind is one-pointed, the attention is one-pointed, all the energies have come together, the masti comes back. Ram meets Sita again. And they come back to Ayodhya, where there is now Ram Rajya, the Rajya of play. Not the Rajya of control, the Rajya of play. Ram Rajya. They come back to Ayodhya. Right? So, and that is on which day what day does he kill Ravana? Dashera. The killing, the 10 heads, and then they come back to Ayodhya. Right? So, this is just his sister asked me a question you speak on Ramayan. I didn't know what the Ramayan was about, so today I just thought I'll write a few notes of the Ramayan, what it means in our life. So it's not mine actually, and it's not something which I study. But so I thought I'll write a few notes on the Ramayan. So I spent this morning writing a few notes. I don't know, but if there are any questions, you can ask those questions. Don't technically ask me because I have not read the Ramayana. So if you ask me about any characters or anything, I may not know what they are about. Well, any questions, anyone else? About anything else? It doesn't have to be about playing. It can be about crying also. Most of our questions are about crying.
I am curious, you mentioned the 5 senses and 5 actions.
Right.
And in the 5 senses, there's the sense of taste.
Right.
In the actions, the tongue, which is a sense of taste, is also a sense of action. It has a dual function.
Dual function. Right. It has a dual function. Vak is speech. Speech. So it is one of the creators of speech. It's creators of speech. Which animal, one of the organs has a dual function? It is an organ, sense organ and organ of action also. Elephant, the trunk. The sense of smell also and its organ of action also. The trunk is both. That is why we say Vakratunda. The elephant is breathing in rhythm, 3-step rhythm. Vakratunda. Any other question? We're a little early today. Okay, do you want to?
Rajan, maybe you can just tell us what the youth camps you hold in India, what do you normally do there with the youth and the kind of programs you run at those camps?
So I started these youth camps in about 1995. And they've been continuing every year since then. And so what has happened is that many of the children now they are in college and when they've grown out in life. So a lot of that group, they've grown up in these camps with me. And so one of the things which we worked very sincerely on is in dreams. On dream yoga. So I have a whole group of them working on their dreams. That is one thing which we really take right from the first camp, because at that time I was also working on my dreams, and so it just sort of went on. this group, especially the youngsters who are college going and have gone out in life, they understand this system very thoroughly. Like they understand the law of octaves, they understand the law of the three forces. So when we are talking, it's a very different kind of question-answer session. And usually where it's only for youngsters, it's the Christmas time when I keep it for 3-4 days for only youngsters. And it's just discussions. We don't do anything. Morning we do the exercises, we practice the conscious sleep, and then we just talk. They bring out the subjects and we talk on anything. Like I wanted to take time over here, so one workshop we took on time. So, and it went on and on. So, just one small thing that tomorrow I'm going to talk about it. I think that for us, time is, the experience of time is movement from past to future. It is a straight line. It is a straight line. But time is not a straight line, time is a circle. So how do we experience time as a circle? I would put a question like this to them. And then they would come with their different answers. And then we would slowly move to the root of the. And with the younger children, I tell stories. I tell stories from the Mahabharata, I tell fairy tales. So I take the fairy tales in a different way, like, Snow White as the inner Atma, the 7 dwarfs as the 7 chakras. So each story I take it out in a different way and I explain to the younger children, and there are also grown-ups sitting there. So then we discuss the stories. So we take fairy tales, sometimes we take stories from the Mahabharata. Then they act out the stories. In different groups they act. Now if there's certain negative emotions, then they act out those negative emotions. So by acting the negative emotion, you become free of the negative emotion. If I can act anger, then I'm free of anger. So all this is how we do it. And then now what has happened, because of this advent of serials and movies, this explosion, everybody wants to dance. This modern dance has become a big thing. So I have one couple who come at the whole afternoon sessions, they're teaching children to do the dance. The parents also take part in all the dances. So then last day we have dances of the parents with all the filmy songs and all kinds of things. Children also dancing. So it goes on. So I'll be, as soon as I go from here, within a few days I'll be having a camp. But the group which has grown up with me, they're a different group altogether. If you see their eyes, you'll see their attention is one point. It's a very, very different group. You don't see them going into states of daydreaming, which I see everywhere. And it's not, I have taught in ashram schools. In ashram schools of great teachers who are on TV and all that, and in their gurukuls I have taught. But it's the same thing, the children are just daydreaming. And it's very, painful, because here they are big gurus who are teaching to lakhs and lakhs of people. When they come for their kathas and this and that. And in their gurukuls, their children are still daydreaming. See, and this is the state it is in. Where you see these small group of 50, 60, 70 children who have been constantly coming. You see the quality of their attention is totally different. That is most important. Like one of the boys, he was meditating on the Narmada. And he comes and he is telling me that I was meditating there and suddenly I was upstairs and my body was downstairs. And I was looking at my body. These are different kind of children. So I'm not boasting about it, but this is a result of some work which has been going on over the last 15, 20 years. So, attention is the most important thing, attention. Because only through attention can you go to dharana. Then the other steps of dhyana and samadhi are much later, but if you can't reach the state of dharana, between dharana and attention is one state called pratyahara. Pratyahara is what my guru used to call the most important step. He said the most important thing in life is pratyahara. Pratyahara. That is, my 5 senses habituated for attention to go outside the five senses? Can I change that habit of the senses? And when that habit changes, attention moves inside. Prati-aha. That is, these senses are taking in impressions all the time, impressions of life. We took it one day on the board, 30,000 per second. 30,000 per second. These impressions are going in, but I am vomiting them out. Now when I can turn those senses inwards, those impressions go on a long journey of digestion inside. And that is called as prati-aha. In yoga, that is the most important state. Yam, niyam, asana, pranayama. Then pratyahara is the middle state, prati-aha. Dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So when my attention is divided, I can see you, but inside there is a feeling of either friendship or hate or jealousy, and I can see that at the same time. There is a prati-aha. There are two states at the same time. This we have to reach. And unless that is reached, nothing can happen. You may spend your whole life listening to bhajans, doing kirtan, doing whatever you are doing. Nothing can happen unless the attention divides into two. Nothing can happen. Otherwise, all bhakti is just another form of hypnosis. And in that hypnosis, people see Krishna, people do this, people do that. There is no divided attention. And the lower psychic nature remains just where it is. Nothing changes. So, these children, they call me, they phone me, and they talk about all these things. They can talk about all this. And the whole system has been opened to them. But here I can only give small fragments. In a month, what can I do? I can just give small fragments, and then again hope that people practice, and then again. It's a continuous process. See, the teaching is a composite whole. And from that, because certain things I have not taught, which are difficult to teach, I have to take only parts which I can present to people. I can't take the whole thing. Whilst talking to that group, I can talk about anything. That makes a little difference. We talk very, very openly about, the energy of sex. Everything related to it, what exercises we should do to be free of excitement. Supposing I'm watching TV and there is a scene of sex on the TV, then I teach them different exercises, how to not waste the energy, how to be free of excitement. Now, it's that open, these camps. Otherwise we are losing energy. And in losing that energy, the attention is getting weaker and weaker. And the whole effort is to make attention one-pointed. If attention is not there, then nothing else can happen. Attention is fragmented, nothing can happen. Divided attention is the most important. That state of it. That is pratyahara, divided attention.
Someday in your talk you mentioned the role of the modern technologies to excite the senses, etc. Is it possible to use those technologies to go inwards?
Oh yes. Oh yes. There are so many instruments. Supposing you are practicing in your dreams, there are so many instruments now available to take you into an induced dream state, to work in the dream state, which allow you to, be in a higher state of consciousness. So technology can be used. Why can't it be used? Supposing now, for blood pressure, what kind of pill do you take? You take a beta blocker, right, for blood pressure. It slows the heart rate. It slows the heart rate. This is a beta blocker. This is technology. This is a crystal radio. It gives off certain waves. Right? It is a beta blocker. Now, so you can use technology. Why not? You can use technology. But the person who is using the technology, he must have a certain level of consciousness to understand what he is doing. Now, in the old days, people used to use a mala.
Yeah.
Mala. The Christians used to use rosary, made of rosewood. In the Hindu, this thing, it was Rudraksh. Rudra means angry, Aksh means eye, the angry eye. Even the Turkish people have those, those blue eyes, it's the angry eye, the evil eye. Now, what was the system of mala? Why did we use the mala? Why would we use the mala? Why do we use the mala? Huh? That is why I'm asking, because no one knows. Wherever I go, no one knows. It's all forgotten. People are counting and concentrating, and God knows what they're doing. And no mantra can go deep if you're using the mala. The mala has to be used for a specific purpose. So why are we using the mala? And what is the secret in using the mala? Yeah, that is what we do, count. For all lives we spend counting, we have to be free of counting. That mala was to be free of counting. It was to open up the state of sensitivity. I don't have a bead. Now, supposing I have a bead in my hand, right? Now, the whole secret of mantra is mantra, breath, pulse. Mantra, breath, pulse. These three have to be coordinated. These three are brought together. Then the power of that mantra goes manifold. So, when you're holding the bead, you're sensing your pulse while saying the mantra. You're sensing your pulse. Not only that, but that pulse, when you're saying the mantra, through the pulse, the mantra is being fed into the bead. This is ancient technology. What I am wearing is modern technology. The idea is the same. It doesn't make any difference. The idea is the same. Now, supposing through my pulse, I have fed the mantra into the mala, I am wearing that mala the whole day. That mala is vibrating at the rate of the mantra. And as I do it every day, that mala is becoming more and more powerful. Because that mala is made of a special wood or special, like in the Christians, a special wood. What it is made of? Rudraksh. A certain, seed which has receptivity, which has the power of taking and holding those vibrations. And every day as I say the mala, I am feeding this thing. Just now when I am saying, I am just daydreaming and it is just helping me, one mala over, now start again. It's just a mechanical process. It has nothing to do with the... But if I feed that mala, Every day I'm feeding that mala with the mantra. That mala becomes a very, very, very powerful. And just by wearing that mala, a certain magnetism is. Certain things cannot happen. If I'm walking on the road, a truck cannot hit me because I'm wearing that mala. So it was a certain technique. These are called mnemonic techniques, where you feed it in through the mantra. It's a process of feeding it. And that can still be done. It's not something which is dead. But now we have modern technology. If the technology is doing it for us, why should we do it? Right? But it still be done.
Yeah, some people they hiding the mala and then do it 24 hours then.
Haji?
They take a photo, they're hiding the mala, no sure. And what's the meaning of that?
I don't know the meaning, but this is the real way of feeding the mala every day.
No, the people they do continue for 24 hours, but when they go over the walk, they know.
Yeah, but the most important thing is there sensitivity there or not. Is it happening mechanically? Then it has no meaning.
Okay. No, but they're hiding like.
They cover it with
They're covering.
That means nobody should see the mala.
Oh.
Huh? Because if I'm jealous of you, then my jealousy affects you. You get it? If I'm jealous of you, my jealousy affects. So certain negative emotions do affect.
You mentioned evil eye. What exactly is an evil eye?
Evil eye, that is a Turkish term. I saw them yesterday. Where did we go? Yesterday, 2 days ago, I saw a whole bunch of them here in Cape Town. Biscuit Mall, not Biscuit Mall. In the Biscuit Mall, there was one shop and it had a whole basket of them. So it is the same thing as Rudraksh, but it is a round thing with an eye, a blue kind of medallion, which the Turkish people hold over, that if somebody looks with jealousy, it goes back to them, it doesn't affect us. That is what the evil eye is. It's a very interesting story, I'll tell you. Now my time is over. I have one Sufi friend. We didn't know each other, and he came to the ashram from Turkey. And he's a member of the Dervish group. You know what a Dervish is? They practice a special form of meditation called whirling. And the music goes on, and the whole day they are whirling. And in this whirling, they go into a state of called masti, where they are drunk with God. And he has a Sufi guru. So he came to India, and one day when he was leaving, he just came to me and he gave me this same thing. So he said to me that, see, if you go to Turkey, you will find this on the streets everywhere. Everyone is selling all this. But this is not that. My guru, he sits on a box of these in meditation and does mantras for hours every day. And very rarely does he take out one from the box and give it to somebody. And before I was coming to India, he said, you are going to meet somebody very special in India. So he took this out and he gave it to him. And I have met you, so I am giving it to you because I am leaving now for Turkey. So that piece, that evil eye is still with me. Now that is like Rudraksh. The meaning is the same. Rudraksh means angry eye. That means evil eye. It's the same thing. Right? So it means if somebody looks at you with you, but more important it is that the Guru has fed some vibrations in it so that certain states of negativity don't happen easily within us. I don't look at you with an evil eye if I'm wearing that. Or I may look at you with jealousy. Maybe you're more happier than I am. So I look at you with jealousy, right? So then that helps me in that state. That is the same meaning of Rudraksh.
We did the 10th door like there's 9 doors in the body like
Yes, definitely. Have you seen the serial Saint Peter? A serial had come on the National Geographic Channel. Very good serial called Saint Peter. Or after Christ is crucified on the cross and Christ comes back, there's the resurrection, and he comes back and he meets his disciple called Peter, and he has been teaching Peter a certain form of Kundalini Yoga. And the Atma, if it opens that door, it goes out through that door. Right? But at the point of death. Now Christ knows that Peter is not yet ready. He has not yet reached that state where he'll be able to go out of this door. So the time has come that Peter is going to be crucified, just like Christ was crucified. So Christ told him that you do one thing, that when they crucify you, you tell them, I have one last wish, you please put my cross upside down. Now, upside down, Shirshasana is one position in which a man cannot die normally. In Shirshasana he cannot die. If he dies in Shirshasana, the Atma has to go through the Dasam. It is forced through the Dasam. That is the only way he can die in Shirshasana. So, but that is not for everybody. We do Shirshasana, nothing is going to happen. We will fall down and then we will fall down and then die. So, but for Peter he was ready. For Peter he was ready. He had reached that state. Little bit was remaining. He was put upside down and the Atma escaped through the Samgama.
No, but is it a stage or what?
It is a stage. You can achieve it.
Living time.
Yes, you can achieve it. You can achieve it.
So is it the definition of the stage then?
Enlightenment. Because what has happened in the Sikh, this thing is that the 9 gurus came with that state. So the 9 gurus came with that state. The 10th guru was Guru Gobind Singh.
Yeah.
And Guru Gobind Singh did not come with that state. He achieved that state. And that is why the gurus stopped over there. He didn't go further because he achieved that state in a beautiful place in the Himalayas called Paonta Sahib. And if you go to Paonta Sahib, even today you can feel, that sadhana which Guru Gobind Singh did over there. So the 9 gurus came with that state. They were born with it. They didn't have to do anything with it. But the 10th guru had to achieve it in this life. So a feeling of that you will get in. If you go to, there is a Gurudwara in Paonta Sahib. If you go there, you get a chance. You must go. It's a beautiful place to go. Should we stop here? Okay. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna. Good idea.